So after the end of the for and before the end of the submit handler, I want to report results to the user. Okay. So how do I want to report the results? Well, I want to change these numbers here, right? I want to show the user how many pegs they got that are correct color and position, and how many pegs they got that are correct color only. So if you remember, we created a label called LBL color position, and we can change its text value to this perfect matches variable, right, that we just updated. So it'll be perfect matches, but that's an integer, so I want to change that to a string, like that. Okay, semicolon. Alright, so this should tell us how many perfect matches we had. So let's try it out. Just gonna guess. Submit. No perfect matches. Well, let's cheat. Okay. So now if we were to submit this, this matches the secret code exactly. So we should have 4 perfect matches. Wow. That's cool. So now let's change one of these. So now we should have 3 perfect matches. This one's no longer a perfect match. Okay, change that one, we should have 2. Change that one, we'll have 1. Now that we know that we have a perfect match, okay, we mark this guy as 0, no, as a 1. Okay. So now that we have determined how many perfect matches there are and which ones are perfect matches, and we've marked them on our compare array, now we want to march through the remaining buttons. Okay, so we want to skip all the ones that were perfect matches. We want to march through the remaining buttons, and for each color in the remaining buttons, march through the remaining pegs that weren't perfect matches in the secret array, and check if they are, see if there's a match. So for example, so with the first button, I already know I don't need to check the same color, but it's no big deal because we already know this isn't the match, but we'll just not worry about it. So so for the first color in the buttons array, we're going to go through every color in the secret array and compare it to that color in the buttons array. So we're going to say, are these the same? No. Are these the same? No. We're going to skip this one because we already marked it, right? We're going to say, are these the same? Yes, they are the same. So we're going to mark it as 0. We're going to mark the index in the compare array that matches the color in the secret array. Okay. With a 0. Okay. So we found that there's a red in the buttons array, and it's in a different spot. So we're going to mark this as 0. Okay. Now watch what happens. Why did I mark this as 0 and not this as 0? Watch. Because now, next, I'm going to go to this button, okay, in the buttons array. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with the first button. I'm going to march through all the colors in the secret array looking for an equal color, okay? So, are these two the same? No. Are these two the same? No. We're going to skip this one because we already found a match for it. And even though these are the same, I'm going to skip it because I've already found a match for this red, right? That was the first red I ran into. That's how I know that this red already has a match and I'm not supposed to compare it anymore. Otherwise, we're going to get a false positive, and we're going to get that we had 2 pegs that had the same color as the secret as a color in the secret code, but we're in the wrong spot. It's true. We got 2 reds, and there is 1 red in the secret code. But once we get a match, means these guys are out. Okay, we don't look at them anymore. Okay, so now we compared this red. We're gonna skip this one because he's already got a match. We're gonna go to this one now. Okay, we're gonna do the same kind of comparison. Let's say, are these 2 equal? Yes, they are. So we're gonna mark this guy as 0. Right? That's as if we just eliminated. Just got this comparison. Okay, and now we're done. Okay, because we've already reached the end of our buttons array. Okay, so what we're going to do here is actually 2 for loops, one inside the other. Okay, so let's do this in the code. So after the end of the first for loop, okay, pushing enter, and I'm going to create a new for. Oh, first I'm going to create a comment here. I'm going to say nested fors to find color only matches. Okay, so for now we want to go through every button. Okay, so for button index is equal to 0, button index less than 4. This is starting to get pretty boring. Button index plus plus. Okay. And say underneath here, I'm gonna restate what I said before. For each button color, march through entire secret array. Looking for a color match. Skip match is already found.